My dear students in Language School, good evening for all. Today we will start revising Qureo platform chapters. We will start today with chapter 18. Chapter 18 discuss the concept of building a website. And building a website is just like building a dream house. Creating digital world takes 3 simple steps. You need the frame, the paint, and the power. The frame here is structured by HTML. Just like you build the main structure of the house. Later you need to paint the house. So you here use CSS and then give the power to the house. Lighting the house, interacting with the house. And this requires, of course, JavaScript. So the main 3 programming language we need to build a website are HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Let's see what each tool do. Each tool here has a very specific job. Fun fact, HTML and CSS are not programming languages. They are scripts or scripting language. HTML builds the framework using a markup language. It's a markup language. And CSS creates the appearance, and it is a style sheet language. The real programming language here is JavaScript, which creates movement. So we need to build the framework using HTML, creates the appearance using CSS, and then creates the movement using JavaScript. What is markup? We called HTML. It's a markup language. In programming, markup means adding specific tags to text so that the browser knows how to display it correctly. In the picture shown, we see title, talk, and main text. The title is created in a certain format, the certain format which we call heading. It is of large font, and we use the tags H1 and P to create this title. We found here also image. We find here also image. So how we can create tags to display these contents correctly or in a simple and attractive format. Here we use markup. What is markup? It's what we mean by adding specific tags to text so that the browser knows how to display it. And what is tag? We add tags. What is a tag? What is this? Inside, in between, or inside angle brackets, greater than or less than, we call it tag. So here, each one is a tag. And of course, it has a meaning in HTML language. We will discuss later what each one do in HTML language. But now we say that tag is anything inside the angle bracket or between less than and greater than. We call it a tag. So HTML consists of a group of tags, and each tag, of course, has a specific meaning to the browser. For example, let's see what will happen when we write between h1 and /h1. Codes note that, of course, h1 is a tag, but what about /h1? It is the closing tag. We have here opening tag h1 and closing tag /h1. And what is written between h1 and /h1 is called a heading. A heading means here a large title, a title that is written in a large font. in a large font because it is used as a heading, as the main title for the text. So what will happen here when we run the code? Let's run the code. You see h1/h1, and these are called tags, and they are surrounded by angel tags. In HTML, we use tags to display text and images on the screen. Now, what will happen if we type in the editor h1 code is not bad and /h1? Here in the browser, the text is shown as we see here in a large font. Why? Because here h1 refers to heading. So this is a result of running the code. So as we said, we need here a slash before h1 to close the tag of h1. So h1 here is a start tag and /h1 is an end tag. Again, h1 is a start tag and /h1 is an end tag. And what will happen if we use h3, not h1, and h6? What will happen? You see, h3 in font is smaller than h1, and h6 is smaller than h3. So there are 6 heading tags ranging from h1 to h6. h1 tag is the biggest, and they get smaller and smaller down to h6. So h6 refers to the smallest font you can write and display in browser. Again, we have 6 heading tags ranging from h1 to h6. The h1 tag is the biggest, and they get smaller and smaller down to h6. If we like to write a normal paragraph without headings, should we use h1 or h6? No, of course not. If you have a normal paragraph, we use the tag p and close it by the tag /p. And p here refers to a new paragraph. P refers to paragraph. So when we write bread in P, that means we write it in a new line. And of course, if we add many P tags, we have many new lines. We have the text organized in multiple lines. Let's see here what will happen if we use h1, code is not bad, and today's shopping list, and P for bread. Here, if we want to write many words but in multiple lines, should we write many P? No, we can write all of them in a simple paragraph, in one paragraph. But when we want to move to a new line after the word bread, we use PR, and PR here means break. So it comes from the word break, which means to start a new line. So after bread here, we need to start a new line and write ham. And after ham, we need to start a new line and write cheese. What about organizing the text into lists? We have, of course, 2 types of lists. The first one is what we call bulleted lists. We organize items in lists, but this list or this type of list, bulleted list, has no numbers. It depends on shapes like circle, like square, and so on. The other type of lists is numbered lists. in which we use numbers to refer to items in an organized way in multiple lines in following lines. Like tomorrow's schedule, we have 5 subjects organized in 5 lines, and each item is numbered by numbers from 1 to 5. And of course, we have different types of numbers. But now we agree that we have 2 types of lists: bulleted lists, which has no numbers but depends on shapes, and numbered lists depends on numbers on showing the order of the items. We can call them also. Bulleted lists can be called as an ordered list, and numbered list can be called as in ordered lists. So we have here an ordered list, which is bulleted list, and ordered list, which is numbered list. Let's have an example. We want to show on browser a shopping list of some vegetables: tomato, onion, mushroom, and garlic. So to create this bulleted list and display it in browser, we have to write in editor the same way as shown below. First, we need to have a heading for the list. So we need to use H1 between the angle bracket and write shopping list. And before we move to the next line, we have to close H1 tag using /H1. And now moving to the list, we have to write UL. What UL refers to: an ordered list. And this unordered list have some items, and each item can be displayed through the tags LI, which mean list. So we have LI for tomato, closed by /LI, and LI for onion, closed by /LI, and LI for mushroom, closed by /LI, and LI for garlic, closed by /LI. And after we finish writing all the items, we have to close the UL tag using /UL. And these is what we call bulleted lists. Now moving to the other type, numbered lists. So if we want to show on browser tomorrow's schedule and we want to write a numbered subjects starting from 1 to 5, we have to create a timetable and display it in the browser. We have to type in editor the same way as shown below. We have to start also by a heading, tomorrow's schedule, in between the tag the tag H1 and closing tag /H1. Now it's time to write the list. Because this list use numbers, we have to write first between the angle bracket OL. OL refers to ordered list. So the browser here will understand that it has to write numbers. Then followed by LI for the item signs, closed by /LI, LI for the item math, closed by /LI, LI for the item music, closed by /LI, and LI for the item history, closed by /LI, and the last one is LI for physical education, closed by /LI, and After finishing writing all items, we have to close the OL tag using /OL. Now let's see how we can display images. If we want to show in browser the heading cooking wish list and 2 items of curry rice and omelette rice, which are shown in the picture, how we can display this in browser. Curry rice images are displayed in the browser when we type in the editor the following code. We have to start a list and we write curry rice, then follow it by PR tag to move to a new line, and in this new line we have to insert image and we have to write the source of this image. What source means here means the location of image inside PC, or we can write a reference, which is a location or a URL if we get the picture from an internet website. So we have image space src to show the name of the picture or the location of the picture. And after finishing this, we have to close li tag using /li. What will happen? It will show on browser the picture of curry rice. Now moving to comments, how we can write comments on HTML. In HTML, you write comments like this. We have to open an angle bracket followed by exclamation mark, then double dashes, and then comment, and end the comment using double dash and greater than. So again, we have to write the comment like this: smaller than, which we call angle bracket, open angle bracket, followed by exclamation mark, then double dash, dash and dash, then write your comment and write double dash again and close the angle bracket. What we mean by comments? The comments are written inside the code to show the function of each line. If we work together in designing the same website, we have to participate and divide the tasks among us. But I want to show you, before you start your work, what each line of code means or what's its purpose. We have to write a comment or a statement, but this statement is not written in tags, is not written in HTML code. These statements are written to show us what happened, what are the functions of each code, or what each code refers to or results in. يعني أنا بكتب الكومنتس هنا علشان خاطر أوضح للتيم اللي معايا أو لأي حد بيقرأ السورس كود بتاعي كل جملة من جمل الكود معناها إيه أو تؤدي إلى إيه. لو إحنا شغالين في تيم مع بعض وبنشتغل في ويب سايت كبير وكل حد فينا عنده جزء من الويب سايت يصممه وعاوز يشوف شغل اللي قبله علشان يكمل عليه، so he needs to read comments. دي بتبقى زي جايد، بس الكومنتس دي مش جمل HTML، دي جمل عادية جدا. أنا ممكن أكتب الكومنتس دي باللغة العربية عادي جدا عشان أقول إن دي الجملة دي مثلا بتحسب مجموع الرقمين دول، أو إن الجملة دي مستخدمة لإدخال متغيرات، أو إن الجملة دي مستخدمة لاستدعاء فانكشن معين. يبقى دي جمل توضيحية، وعشان هي جمل توضيحية وأنا مش عاوزة البراوزر يترجمها أو يتعامل معاها على إنها HTML code, so I have to write it between the angle brackets in the same format as shown in front of you. So let's have an example here. When I want to write prices will be revised next week. This is not a part of code, but it is a statement that used to show a certain comment or a certain note. So the code started from the second line. When I want to have a heading called drink menu and then write a paragraph contains the prices of the juice. So here we write orange juice of 2 goody coins and apple juice of 150 goody coins. We want to write them in two lines, so we use here BR after orange price to move to second line and write apple juice in a separate line. Then we close the paragraph tag using /p. Now it's time to exercise. I hope you understand the concepts and revising what we have studied before. And now moving to exercise, let's solve some exercises together. Choose the correct HTML element for the largest heading. How can you write largest heading? Head, heading. I'm asking now for correct HTML element or correct HTML tag. H1 and H6. We want to write or to choose the correct HTML element for largest heading. We have 6 headings started from H1 and get smaller and smaller down to H6. So the largest one here is H1. This is the right answer. Now, what is the correct HTML element for inserting a line break? What is the element written to move to a new line? To move to a new line. We mean here insert a line break. B, BR, or break. We call it a line break, but the HTML element is called PR tag. PR tag. To insert a line break, we use PR tag. Now, question number 3. Which character is used to indicate an end tag? How we can close any tag, We use a certain character to close any tag. Sometimes we have non-closed, like image tag. Image tag has no closing tag. BR has no closing tag. But if the opening tag has a closing tag, we use a certain character to end the tag, which is slash or angle bracket, asterisk, and so what is the correct character? Of course, slash. How can we make a numbered list or an ordered list? We have to make a list using numbers. What tag we use? OL, ordered list, or UL, unordered list, or list, or DL, data list. Of course, a numbered list is called an ordered list. So the correct answer is OL. Now, question number 5. How can you make a bulleted list? A bulleted list doesn't use a number list, doesn't use numbers at all. A bulleted list doesn't use numbers at all. So it is an ordered list or it is an unordered list. The ordered list or non-ordered, unordered. OL for ordered list, UL for an ordered list, list or data list. Of course, ordered list refers to numbered list and unordered list refers to bulleted list. So the correct answer is item B. What is the correct HTML for inserting image? We want to insert image inside our web page. So what is the correct HTML element or the correct HTML tag for inserting an image? Image src and write the location or the name of the picture a1.png. This is the name of the picture. So we use here img src or img alt. What art used for? Do you remember what art used for? Alt used when the image is not displayed correctly inside the browser. So we use alt to write a certain statement instead of the non-displayed picture. يعني أنا علشان أحط صورة بحط image src, the item A, the correct one, img src, and then write the correct name of the picture. And suppose here that pictures are in the same folder of the HTML file. يعني أنا بحط image src وبحط فقط اسم ملف الصورة المفترض إن هو يكون موجود مع ملف الويب بيج اللي هو الفايل اللي امتداده HTML موجودين في نفس الفولدر. فأنا بس بنده هنا على الصور بأساميها. طيب بفرض إن أنا الصورة بتاعتي موجودة في مكان وفايل HTML موجود في مكان، فهنا في الإيمج src بكتب اللوكيشن كامل. يعني بقول مثلا الصورة بتاعتي دي موجودة على درايف دي ولا درايف سي ولا درايف اف، وموجودة على الدرايف نفسه ولا موجودة جوه فولدر معينة المفروض ان انا اكتب اسمها. او احيانا بيبقى مصدر الصورة عبارة عن الويب سايت الالكتروني اللي هي موجودة فيه. طيب لنفرض ان انا كتبت في الاس ار سي خلاص لوكيشن اللي هو URL، ان انا هجيب الصورة دي من موقع جوجل، من موقع مصراوي، من موقع فيسبوك. And then when I displayed the location أو عرضت الصفحة بتاعتي، فرضنا إنه مفيش اتصال بالإنترنت أو إني كتبت اسم الصورة بشكل خاطئ، كتبت اسم الصورة غلط، مش اسمها الصحيح أو مش اللوكيشن الصحيح. أصبحت دلوقتي أنا استخدمت التاج بتاعت الصورة والاسم، ولكن الصورة not displayed in the browser. ليه؟ لأني مش قادر أوصل للموقع بتاعها، أو يجوز إن الموقع اللي أنا حطيته شال الصورة من عنده، أو يجوز إنه أنا حطيت اسم صورة خطأ. او يجوز ان انا كتبت اسم الصورة بالشكل ده بس نسيت احط ملف الصورة معايا. So all of this results in ان الصورة مش ظاهرة على الويب سايت. طب انا هسيب مكانها فاضي؟ No. هنا بستخدم مع الايمج SRC بستخدم اتريبيوت اسمه alt. الاتريبيوت اللي اسمه alt احنا بنكتب فيه مسج، والمسج دي بتظهر في حالة عدم ظهور الصورة. لكن ان انا اقول to insert an image we have to use image alt, of course not, this is not correct. طيب انا قلت image SRC مش image href، مش الصورة دي عبارة عن لينك لصورة تانية او عبارة عن لينك لويب سايت تاني، of course not. انا هنا في الايمج SRC ببقى عاوزة احدد اسم الصورة نفسها، اكيد ما بستخدمش كلمة image كاملة ولكن بستعير منها ال ing. So here we use image SRC equal a1.png. So let's have a question here. HTML comments start with هنا right angle and ends with right angle, and this comment is written correctly, so the statement is true. Now, block elements are normally displayed without starting a new line. لا أكيد of course مع بداية كل block element احنا we need to start a new line. So this correct اللي هي بتقول without starting a new line. احنا هنا بتبقى الجملة بتاعتنا false. Now question number 9. What HTML attribute specifies an alternate text for an image؟ العرض النص البديل اللي بيظهر محل الصورة. SRC ولا alt ولا title ولا long disk؟ of course احنا قلناها في سؤال سابق ان هي اكيد الalt. طب we have already an attribute called long disk? of course not. We have attribute called title? of course not. We have a tag called title, but here we have two attributes. أول واحد اللي هو ال SRC اللي بيوضح اللوكيشن أو اسم الصورة، والalt اللي هو بيوضح ال alternate text for an image. What does HTML stands for؟ احنا ما قلناش يا ترى ال HTML دي stands for what؟ طبعا احنا لو خدنا بالنا دلوقتي هنلاقي ان كل الجمل stands for معناها ايه الكلمات الكبيرة اللي احنا اخدنا منها اول كل حرف وكونا كلمة HTML. هل الكلمات دي hypertext markup language ولا hypertool markup language ولا whole text markup language ولا حاجة تانية؟ of course it is hypertext markup language. وزي ما قلنا انه ال HTML وال CSS are markup language and style sheet language. They are not programming language. They are scripting languages. Scripts احنا بنكتبها جوه ال structure. But the real programming language in our course this year is JavaScript. JavaScript is a real programming language. واتفقنا ان السكريبت الاساسي ال HTML بيبني الفريم الرئيسي او الستراكشر الرئيسي بتاع الويب سايت، بيحدد ايه هي الكونتنتس، ايه هي التكست، ايه هي الصور اللي هتبقى موجوده جوه الويب سايت، ايه الكونتنتس بصفه عامه. تمام. بس لما احب احط او ابرز الكونتنتس دي بشكل جميل بالوان جذابه makes it attractive to browse، تمام، يبقى انا بستخدم هنا ال CSS. لكن لما احب انها تتحول لشكل تفاعلي لشكل دايناميك، ان انا يكون عندي مثلا calculations بتتم في الصفحه، او يكون عندي مثلا showing the right answers، او يكون عندي welcome message، او يكون عندي وسيله ان انا اكتب كومنت معين وابعته للسيرفر، ابعته للاونر اوف ذا بيج كومنت لحاجه معينه. او ان انا اعمل choices، يكون عندي subscription form وانا بعمل choices معينه، بختار المكان املى فيه بياناتي، بختار انا ميل ولا فيميل، بختار ايه الهوبيز بتاعتي، او بختار انا from what cities. كل دي options انت بتختارها. طب I want to send my data to server، خلاص here I use a submit button، خلاص and it is programmed by JavaScript. يبقى انا وانت بتبعت. so what will happen if you want to sign in again؟ to sign in بتلاقي السيرفر عارف بياناتك وبيدخلك على طول. طب هو عارف منين؟ because you send data. طب انا send data using HTML؟ of course not. طب انا sending data using CSS؟ of course not. طب انا sending data using JavaScript؟ yes correct. JavaScript linked to database of for all users. This is what we call interaction. ايه هو؟ ان انا اكتب بوست معين and all people see the post. ما شافوا البوست ده ازاي؟ because I share it, because I save it. اوكي. طيب البيبل دول انا ممكن في مكاني اقدر receive comments، receive emojis، حاجه زي كده. بس في interaction. how can this interaction be found in my website using JavaScript? So please revise well JavaScript, study well JavaScript. It makes a lot, it adds a lot to your knowledge, and it helps you to create interactive websites. So we have to study well the 30 chapters, not only for the exam but for the ability to create interactive web sites. This is a valuable material this year. I hope you already benefit from it. And by this question, we come to the end of our session today. Hope you revise well chapter 18. With you today was Miss Zizrania Mahmoud Nagar. Until we meet again, goodbye everybody and best of luck for all of you.